Recording in progress.
So you will monitor this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we are here for your current affairs lecture of science and tech. Okay. This is the first one for the September month. Now these are the main 5 topics we'll be dealing with. First is biosensors for Parkinson's disease. Then total lunar eclipse. You might have read on the news. Okay. Then after that there is one Cerebro, a new brain tool that they have made. Okay, this we'll see. Then semicon, this is related to semiconductor missions and expo, that we'll see. After that, blue light stain removal technology. This is a new technology that has come, was in the news in Indian Express. Okay, let's get started. First thing is about the Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease you might have seen. Mostly old people are suffering from diseases like this. Okay, now if you see, this is what? So this is a progressive neurological disorder or neurodegenerative disease. Okay, it affects movement, balance and coordination caused by loss of dopamine producing neurons in the brain. So for you it is very simply, there are some, this is some neurological disorder that a person usually in old age because of some genetic or other factors may have. You might have seen people walking having this disease, so they shake a lot while walking, so their balance, this sense of balance, this sense of movement, all that is gone. Okay, now so of course symptoms would be slowness of movement, there will be speed changes, then you would see tremors, all these, loss of smell, all these you will see mostly in old people. Now our main point of this current affair topic is not reading about the Parkinson's disease but the new treatment that has come. Not treatment, actually a new way to diagnose early. Okay, so what's in news? In news is this. So INST Mohali has announced that they have developed gold nanoclusters based biosensors that will enable early Parkinson's disease detection. Okay, now Parkinson disease, if you might have heard about it, this is an incurable disease. Okay, only symptomatic treatment is provided and just to improve the quality of life. So let's say a person is having Parkinson's disease, is suffering from some kind of balance, some kind of movement, so some symptomatic treatment will be provided. No complete cure is there. Now if a disease does not have a complete cure, it becomes even more important to detect it early, so that, because that is the only way to stop it, if you detect it early. So this becomes important. Now what is Parkinson's disease? This you have understood. So this institution in Mohali, they have found a way using gold nanoclusters. How this works, this we'll see now. Okay, now yeah, this is what causes Parkinson's disease and how is it detected. So right now how it is detected, that we'll see, and what causes it. After that we'll see the new way of detection. So causes are simple: genetics, as I told you, aging, environmental factors. These are the reasons for Parkinson's disease. Now pathologically, what is the reason? So misfolded alpha synuclein protein forms toxic aggregates. So for you it is very simply, some kind of protein is forming toxic aggregates in their body, some particular kind of proteins. Now so if these proteins are forming some toxic aggregates, what you will want? you will want to detect presence of them. If you detect presence of them, you are done, correct? Then you can understand and say that this person has a chances of having Parkinson's disease, and the treatment can start much more earlier. Now, today's detection process is what? This is mainly clinical exam plus supportive test. Early biomarker gap remains. Now, when does a person go to a hospital? Okay, people only go to a hospital when there is insufferable pain, or their daily life is affected so much that they cannot work now. Then only people turn towards hospitals. Now, then when they go to hospital, then only you will have clinical exams and some supportive tests. So this is already too late for a fatal disease like Parkinson's disease. Now, treatment is what? No cure exists yet. Treatment focuses on symptom control and improving quality of life, as I explained to you. Now, what is the new way? See, how does this works? This is the new biosensor. How does this work? See, what they'll do, they'll take some gold nano clusters, gold nanoparticles, you can understand. Okay, gold nanoparticles, they take nanoparticles are what? Very small versions of the same elements that you hear about. So gold nanoparticles are gold particles, but very, very small. Now, this is added to a patient sample. So they take a patient sample, then add gold nanoparticles to it. Now, gold nanoclusters will do what? Gold nanoclusters have a property of selectivity. So what they do, they ignore the normal protein which is a healthy one, that they will ignore, but they log on to the misfolded one. So the misfolded protein, these clusters will go and attach itself to. Now once they attach itself to, now what will happen? This will signal, this sticking triggers a glow or fluorescence change. Now it was of, let's say, gold nanoparticles can be of many different colors based on size. Now let's say it was yellow color only. Now after it gets attached to the misfolded protein, what will it do? It will change its color. So immediately you get to know that the particles that have changed colors are representing what? Are representing the misfolded proteins. Now, of course, once you get, now you have two colors. One is the total amount of gold nano clusters that you have sent, and the other is the amount of nano crystals of gold that are showing different colors with respect to misfolded proteins. This ratio you can get. So this reading, a small portable reader can check, because now it is just checking glow. This is not some medical test that you need very big complex devices for it. This is just checking what is the color. Now this can be done by using a simple portable reader that will check the glow and report toxic protein levels. By this level you can understand that what is the risk of Parkinson's, how you can prevent it. Early detection can help a lot. Quick picture is what? Think of these gold nanocrystals as tiny glowing stickers. They stick only to the crumpled or toxic nucleon, then their glow changes so the device can flag Parkinson's disease before symptoms. Simply, this is what it is doing. Understood? Okay, then if this is so,
is it showing from blood sample or from the nuclear, like actually getting the protein and then?
no, it can get from the blood samples also. Then what is this biosensor? Why is this biosensor significant? Now, early detection, of course, flags early, you can understand this. Then label free and low cost, no extra dyes, reagents, nothing we are using. It is itself changing color. This is coming from the properties of nanoparticles. Nanoparticles, when their size changes, when their surrounding changes, they tend to change their color also. So that's why no extra dyes, nothing is entering. Then point of care. So this is a portable reader, anyone can use it. This can give you a quick turnaround outside of big labs, correct? Very easily you can get this. Then scalable and portable. Now if this screening can be done in small clinics, community health centers, all these. Then This is extendable also. If this concept works, see, protein misfolding can cause many other diseases. Now, if this works for this particular one, then we can have similar technologies for other diseases also. So this is its scalability. Then, I think that's it. Yes. Next topic is lunar eclipse and blood moon. Okay, this was a lot in news. Chandragrahan, Suryagrahan. Okay, some myths are also there. Like my mother called me saying that, have you taken dinner at like 8 because Chandragrahan is going to start, then you can't eat. Anyway, I eat early. Okay, so why this is in news? So of course this will be in news. A total lunar eclipse or blood moon occurred on 7th of September 2025, visible across India. Totality lasted. Totality means total lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse lasted from 11 p.m. to 12:22 a.m. Okay, we'll see what is total lunar eclipse, what is partial lunar eclipse, all that. Now, these are the different timings. It's fine. First, let's understand this. Yeah, first thing is this. What is a lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipse is what? When Earth comes in between sun and moon. Now what will happen? See, moon, you see moon. Moon is actually not emitting any light. It just reflects the light from the sun. Now if something comes in between sun and the moon, you will have moon in the shadow region, or moon will start showing different colors, or will stop looking, or you won't be able to see moon. This is what lunar eclipse is. So when the earth comes between the sun and the moon passes into earth's shadow. This is called umbra or penumbra, causing it to darken. That's it. This is what lunar eclipse is. Now, if it is exactly behind earth, then what is it? If it is exactly behind earth, this will be total eclipse, or in Hindi you call it Purna Chandra Grahan. Okay, so this is total eclipse. Now, this is the umbra region where the earth's shadow is completely hiding whatever is behind it. This is the umbra region. Now, if the entire moon is here, you will see a total eclipse. Now, if some part of it is outside, what you will see? You will see a partial eclipse. Now, last is penumbra, which is this region. This region is what? Where there is effect of shadow of earth, but it is not hidden directly, not hidden completely. This becomes penumbra region. Now, these are the 3 stages, broadly 3 stages. Now, these only, now if you see, now moon is going around the earth like this. So you will see all the stages. In the same lunar eclipse, you will see all the stages. Now, if you see this, that is why you have different times for all of them. See, penumbral begins from the bottom, started 8:58 p.m. Then partial begins 7:57. Partial became. Then totality begins at 11. Then maximum it reached at 11:41. Complete darkness kind of scenario. Then totality ends at 12:22. That we had seen. But after that totality ends, what you will have? Again you will have partial, and then eventually you will end the penumbral time. So then it ends, partial ends, and then after that penumbral ends. Timings are of course not important. This is for you to understand how it works. That's it. Then yeah. Now, there was a phenomena that was in news. Why does the moon look red or blood moon during this time? Now, you see this. Earth's atmosphere bends sunlight and filters out blue light. Red or orange light reaches the moon. This is Rayleigh scattering, so the eclipsed moon appears reddish. Eclipsed moon appear reddish. Now see, what is happening? See, this if you might know that, why does the sky look blue? Why does the sky look blue? Huh? Why does the sky look blue? Why?
The light from the sun comes and scatters.
Yeah, but many colors are scattered, no? 7 colors.
All the supplements and all.
No. A myth was there that actually sky is the reflection of sea. That is not true. It appears blue because if you have, okay, this too you might have heard. You might have heard about infrared, and you might have heard about ultraviolet. Which do you think has more energy? Which is stronger? Ultraviolet. This can cause you cancer and all. Infrared is this remote at that I'm using is infrared. If you stand in front of it, it will stop working, like we used to do now when you with your siblings and all, when they're trying to change the channel, you stand in front, so it stops working. That is infrared, that has low energy. Ultraviolet has much higher energy. Now wavelength is just opposite of energy. So wavelength for you right now, wavelength is size. So wavelength, or for you this is size. So size will be, if energy is here higher, then size here will be smaller, just the opposite. Now if size is smaller, so for blue what we have, the wavelength is very small. Now if blue particles, let's understand as particles, if they are very small, they will be scattered more easily. That is why when all the different colors lights are emitted by the sun and it gets refracted, then it is the blue one that gets scattered the most. Why? Because it is small. Correct? If small people are going like this and you are a big person and you hit them, now two people are of my size, two people are very small children. Now if I hit them with the same force, who will be scattered more? The children, the small ones. So blue one will be scattered more. That's why the sky looks blue. And here also, when the earth comes in between, now earth does was earth's atmosphere scatters the blue light. So blue lights get scattered everywhere. The only light that somehow through the shadow reaches the moon, the only light that through the shadow reaches the moon is actually the red light. Why? Because blue got scattered all around. Now if only red is reaching, what will it look like? It will look red. That is why it starts to look blood red. Understood? This is the whole point. Then next is this Cerebu. This is a new brain tool. Okay, this they have developed. They will actually illuminate towards the brain. Why, I don't know. Then in this photo it is showing towards the eyes. But yeah. So now this is a handheld brain scanner. Let's see. Basically, if I have to tell you in one line, what this will do, this is a scanner that can detect if there is any bleeding inside your brain. Okay, there is a issue that some people develop, and it happens suddenly, that some people start having bleeding inside their brains, and then it becomes very difficult to control and all. Now that gets known to people sometimes, like a friend of mine's and his sister actually passed away because of this. So suddenly you get to know that your brain has some bleeding issue. Now you don't get to know about it anytime. Now eventually the first time she fainted, when she went to the MRI, then only she got to know that she had something like this. And then it was very difficult. After 2-3 attacks like this, she passed away. So this becomes very difficult to get now, because MRI costs a lot. So usually people don't go for MRIs. That is why this gets detected very late. Now this becomes especially important when people are having concussion injury or because of some accident they have. So immediately you have to understand that there is a brain injury. Like if I'm going on a bike, I fall down, I have some injury in my head. Now I'll go to my local hospital or public health center. Now what they'll do, that sir mein lag gaya hai, this, that, patti, all this is going on. But if your brain is affected or something, some internal part is getting affected like this, then you don't get to know until you do an MRI, and that takes a lot of time. So this is something that can be done. This is a handheld device. We'll see how. So first is, what is traumatic brain injury? Now see, brain dysfunction caused by sudden external trauma ranging from mild concussion to severe. Okay, some concussion, you know, in cricket, if a ball hits them, then someone comes and they check for concussion. Okay, yeah, so concussion is if any hard thing, let's say, hits your head, then you can have concussion or some, yeah, some issues in you with your brain at that time. Now common causes as what? Road traffic injuries. Almost 60% cases of this comes from road traffic injuries. Then falls, 20 to 25%. Violence. Okay, then epidemiology. In India, around 2 million are injured this way annually, and around 1 million deaths are ensured by this. So if you see, 200 are getting severe issues or traumatic brain injury. Out of this, 1 million is getting passed away. 50% is a very high ratio. Okay, why? Because brain injury is detected very late, or and also it is very difficult to treat in any small hospital, this, there, anywhere. Then now, what is this device? See, so Cerebu is a handheld, non-invasive device to quickly screen brain bleeds or edema after head injury. So simply this device will do what? See, yeah, this uses near infrared spectroscopy and machine learning. So basically, it will send infrared rays towards your brain, and then it will see what is the reflection or the change in waveform that it is getting back. Based on that, it will get some information. Now, earlier those radars or signals could not, sorry, radars nahi, earlier those signals won't do much, but now with the help of machine learning, they have compartmentalized the entire brain. This, that works, this exact, this part should be like this part should be like this. So using machine learning, they are able to identify if there is some internal bleeding. Machine learning provides you with a lot of data at every vector or every change that there is. So using both these combined, you need not know very much in detail. Only two things. First is near infrared spectroscopy, and then second is machine learning. Using both of these technologies, what it will do, it won't do a complex analysis or tell you everything exactly like an MRI does, but it will tell you that is there an injury that is causing blood bleeding or some issue in the brain. That much only it can do. Now, developer is ICMR, MDMS, AIMS, Bhopal, all these many organizations. It's fine. Now, output is what? This is radiation free. Infrared is not harmful to us, correct? Remote, it's not harmful to us. Then this will give you color coded results within 1 minute. So whatever waveforms or different things that it sees, based on that it will give you a color coding. So let's say normal is of some fixed colors, let's say yellow. Then if there is some bleeding, it will show red like this. So similar colors will be shown to you. Based on that, you can guess that there is some bleeding or not. No treatment, no exact thing, just the first thing that you can get from this. Then safety, this is suitable for even infants and pregnant women. Now if something is safe for infants and pregnant women, then it is safe for everybody. Okay, if you are going to buy something, like if you are buying a mattress or a pillow, and if it says that it is good for pregnant women, then it is very good for you, it's very soft and all. Okay, so anything that is good for them is very good quality, because there are a lot of norms that every company that is saying this has to follow. Okay, that's why they are the best quality and everything. Then yeah, so why is it important? First is accessibility. Works where CT or MRI aren't available. Actually, it is not available except for some big hospitals. It is not available anywhere. So in ambulances, rural clinics, trauma centers, disaster units, all those places. Affordability, this is much more cost effective. Within 1 minute, you are getting at least this. Then reduces reliance on expensive imaging. Now, the thing is, see, if I'm a person and I got some bleeding in my brain, I have to go for MRI, that is fine. But the thing is, right now, even if I feel that there might be some issue, then I have to go through MRI, and it costs a lot of money. And eventually, what result I'll get? कि कुछ भी नहीं है. Okay, so this time and money can be saved using this device. For example, when I was in my college gives 1 lakh insurance to every student. Okay, and now the hospital has to show some spending to get that insurance. So what they'll do, even if you go and say that I am having headache and this that, they'll get you to MRI. I have been through all kinds of machines without any serious disease. So I have done MRI, this brain spectroscopy, all those things, many thousands, and all those tests they go through. Now, speed is what? Cuts time, this is fine. Then support services, now this is helps decide who needs urgent MRI. This is the main purpose. If it shows that there is bleeding, immediately you can send for MRI. Then decentralization, even unskilled or frontline workers, they can see the colors, correct, and identify. Then mortality impact, early detection and timely intervention can reduce deaths. As you saw, there is very high death rate in case of this. Yeah, then next is this SemiCon 2025. This is related to semiconductor. This was a expo that we conducted. Yeah. Recently, SemiCon India 2025, a national level chips conference and expo. Expo is what? Yeah, so basically cars expo you might have heard. Basically, it's like an exhibition. Okay, so similar for semiconductors or chips was conducted by India. Now, was held from 2nd to 4th September 2025 at Yasho Bhumi, New Delhi. Now, what they did in this, see, usually all these expos in one line are what? Basically, a country tries to showcase what all emerging tech we have developed. Okay, now different companies also come, they also have their stalls, they'll show कि हमने ये बनाया. So some bigger company, if they want to buy, all this thing happen. Now participants from many different countries will come. In fact, people who are working in this field, or they will go to different expos. Like you might have heard people going to auto expos, and then they are judging what cars are working what way, because they are in this particular business. So expo is attended by everybody. Now, more than 350 companies came there. Then participants were from 48 countries or region. Participant means जिनने अपने वो स्टॉल लगा के बताया कि this we have developed. Okay, then 25,000 online viewers were also there. Now, this was organized by Indian Semiconductor Mission, ISM. This is a mission that we'll see in detail. This is under, what is this? MITI, Ministry of Information and Telecommunication. Then this is, and SEMI. SEMI is what? SEMI is Semiconductor Equipment and Materials International. This is an international body, again dealing with semiconductors. Now, the next thing is, what are semiconductors? Yeah, see this. So, what is a semiconductor? Now, just by the word breakdown, you can feel that conductor, you know what is conductor? Anything that conducts electricity. Okay, in this case, electricity only. Okay, now, conductor you understand. The opposite of conductor is what? Insulator. For example, conductor is, let's say, copper is a conductor. That's why all the wires are made up of coppers and all. Now, insulator, let's say wood is an insulator. Correct? Now, semiconductors are somewhere in between. That is why they are called semiconductor. Now, a semiconductor conducts electricity in some situations but does not conduct it in others. That is why they become very important to create diodes and all. That is to allow one directional flow of electricity, to create selective movement of electrons or electricity. So they are important that way. Now, a semiconductor material properties lie between conductors that easily conduct electricity like copper, and insulators that do not conduct electricity. So somewhere in between. Examples: carbon you might have heard of, then silicon chips, germanium, all these elements, when we do science and tech, we read about them. All these, they lie somewhere in the middle, and their chemical structure is such that they can gain electron also, lose electron also. That's why they show properties somewhere in between, that we'll see. For now, this is somewhere in between properties. Because of this property of selectively passing electricity and not, this becomes very important for us. Now, where they are used, why they become so important? Yeah, now see. So these are this semiconductor is the foundation of modern electronics and power electronics. Your phones, EVs, grids, medical, defense and space, in every sector they have a lot of use. In fact, your phone, all the chips that are made up of, they use semiconductor. Now everything works on chips, correct? Even these pen drives, all those things, systems, everything is made up of chips, and chips are made up of semiconductor. That's why they become very, very important. Now, in global context, they are very important. Why? See, if we are talking about IR 4.0, that is Industrial Revolution 4.0, that will involve systems like this only. Now, the companies or the countries which have high concentration of semiconductor based products, they will take over the entire market. That is why suddenly you might have heard of one company called NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA is now the most valuable company in the world. Okay, NVIDIA does what? It makes GPUs and chips. Okay, this GPUs does what? This GPUs are the processing units for artificial intelligence and all the new technologies that you are seeing. So semiconductors are that important. Now, the thing is, with semiconductor, there is a huge concentration of where they are being manufactured. So advanced chips are made in a very few hubs, that is Taiwan, South Korea, and now some in China also. So these are being made in very small places or very small hubs like this. It is not fragmented or not distributed around the world. Like electricity from the coal, anybody is making. Okay, कोयला ले रहा है, ऐसा जला दे रहा है, टरबाइन घूम रहा है, electricity निकल रहा है. Any country, even in Africa, even in USA, everybody is doing this. But this is very advanced tech, so very few hubs are there. Now, there is choke points, that is critical tools or materials are coming from a very few countries. From a very few countries. For example, Netherlands, USA, Japan. These are the companies that provides the key nutrients or the key components of semiconductor devices or chips. Now, shocks. So pandemic, shipping, disruptions, conflicts, export controls, all these creates shortages. Now, when there is a shortage, what will happen? Now, if I have developed everything, let's say I am trying to develop a new mobile series, or let's say a new advanced laptop or whatever. Now, if there is a shortage of chips, then everything's price increases. Also, if I am not getting chips, then what will happen? My stock will be stuck. So that becomes an issue that became a major issue during COVID. Now different countries blame different countries. USA blamed that China is blocking this supply. China blamed that West is blocking this supply. All that is fine. Now next is response. So most countries' response to this is, and of India also, that we should push for self-reliance and on our trusted allies to supply us products. This is what we want. That is why, because we want to be self-reliant and dependable with respect to our supply chain of semiconductors, that is why we have something called India Semiconductor Mission or ISM. ISM is the main thing that India is doing for semiconductor manufacturing in India. Now, what you saw there, that is semicon. You saw semicon is also being conducted by this ISM and the international organization. Okay, now here also you see this all comes from ISM only. This is the overall comprehensive umbrella mission that we have with respect to semiconductors. Now it can conduct some expos of 2 days. Okay, it can also have various different schemes to promote semiconductors in India. So what are their aims? Developing a strong semiconductor ecosystem in India. Okay, then encouraging indigenous semiconductor design and manufacturing, then fostering collaboration between industry and academia, promoting skill development, attracting investment and driving innovation, all this. Okay, see, it is nothing but for any mission like this, you just remember this Rishi. Okay, what they'll do, first thing will be with respect to fundamental research, they will invest something. Second will, they'll do some international collaboration, okay, with like-minded countries. Give one two example, Japan, USA, anytime. And then after that, with S, what they'll want, they will always want some supply issue they'll solve. Some supply you need for all kinds of technologies, so that they will solve. Then for example, they'll try to provide indigenous supply of parts. See, encouraging indigenous semiconductor design and manufacturing. This they'll do. Then with H is human resource. So always they'll focus on development of skilled human resource for this particular thing. After that, last is I, that is industry linkage. They will try to link the industry with the academia. What is this? See, industry means all the companies that are running. Academia is the technical institution, IITs, ISCs, all those best institutions. You want a linkage between them so that whatever the industry needs is being supplied by these research organizations. So this is again industry linkage. This you can find this. Fostering collaboration between industry and academia. Promoting skill development. Attracting investment from foreign countries. So this is international collaboration as well as investment. Got it? All these gets covered in most technologies or whatever mission is there. You just remember this word and its expansion. That's it. After this, now there are 4 major schemes under it. Okay, 4 major schemes under ISM. First is semiconductor fabrication fabs scheme. Now fabs is what? This is semiconductor wafer fabrication or fab units. See, fabs are fabrication units. Okay, see, these are the most expensive part of making semiconductors, that is fabricating them or making them. Now for this, what we are doing, this scheme is providing 50% fiscal support for setting up fabs. 50% fiscal support for setting up fab units in India. Now then there is display fab scheme. Now what this does is offers financial assistance again up to 50% of the project cost. Then these two are fine. Yeah, this is fine. Compound semiconductor and ATM, it's fine. 50% capital support it will give. The most important one in all of them is this, that is designed linked incentive scheme. You might have heard about production linked incentive scheme, correct? That is given for different sectors. Here you have designed linked incentive scheme. That is for the new designs and all. What you will get certain outlays and all. So a total outlay of 1000 crore has been given for this, then with incentives up to 15 crore per company. So every company can get up to 15 crores. This is the total outlay. Now as and when companies apply and they satisfy all the criteria, they can get the money. Then it includes reimbursement of R&D cost, access to state of the art design tools. So R&D cost, access to state of the art design tools, everything gets covered in this. Reimbursement means first you have to spend, then put up bills, then you can get money. Otherwise what will happen? They'll say zarurat bahut hai sir, लाइए. So that does not happen. Usually reimbursement process will be done. This name is very important. Design linked incentive. Now it may be directly asked. This is mainly linked to semiconductors. Of course it is being given for some others also, mainly for semiconductor, or within ISM this is. Then yeah, challenges and way forward. By the way, this Semicon 2025 or ISM was a question in mains in 2025. This was a 15 marker. This only Indian Semiconductor Mission and Semicon was a 15 marker question. Okay. Now, so there is less chances of it coming in mains again, but it becomes important for prelims. Then, but anyway, let's see the challenges. What will be the challenges? First, high capital cost and long build times. Correct? Fabrication, if I tell you, it takes around $10 billion. Sorry, yeah, dollar is this media. $10 billion to make one large size fabrication lab. This is the level of cost we are talking about. So it will take a long time to build also. Now, what we should do then, if it takes this much time, we should do phased investments and prioritize design and packaging first. So we should focus on certain important parts first, instead of कि scratch से पूरा बना देंगे साहब आप देखो. Okay, instead of that we'll do the most important part, compartmentalize. Then utilities like power, water and clean rooms, this should be provided 24/7. This is also an issue in India. So what you need ensure reliable power, ultra pure water and certified clean rooms. Then tools and material choke points. Correct? As I told you that supply chain is a major issue. Then what we should do? Secure long-term contracts with allies and localize critical inputs. Localize critical inputs, and with our allies we'll form long-term contracts, that we are having a contract of 10 years from, let's say, one company that will provide us wafers. That way. Then skills gap. Of course, what you will do to bridge skill gap? Expand training, apprenticeship. That. Then global competition is there. Focus on winnable niches and develop manufacturing clusters. So instead of being the one country fixes all, that our country only will be the leader of semiconductor, we should focus on some niches that we create. Niche is what? Niche is some small segment that we can create and become expert of that. Okay, that becomes niche. Okay, then environmental compliance. Okay, so environmental compliance is an issue. It causes a lot of use of energy and water resources. So you should adopt some efficient processes. No, that's fine. Yeah, this is the last topic. Simple topic. What it does is, see, this first came in New York Times, then Indian Express picked it, then some other papers also picked it. So the thing is, blue light stain removal technology. So what they have done is, they have found a technology in which they'll expose blue lights on a piece of cloth, and over some time they found out that over 10 minutes or some time it got cleaned up. How it becomes clean and whatever, that we'll see. Yeah, so this is from their site only, people who have developed this. So this was the original code, became a bit cleaner. Then yeah, what's in use? So scientists have shown that focusing blue light of 445 nanometer on clothes for 10 minutes can remove a wide range of common stains on everyday fabrics. This they have found that 445 nanometer blue light, if they focus on for 10 minutes on a piece of cloth, then they have seen that it gets cleaned up. Now, team comes from, this is a Japanese industry research. Then what they have used is, name is not important, they have used high intensity blue LEDs to show effects like this. How this works, that we'll see next. Basically, blue light illumination, cloth is getting cleaned, very simply. Then, yeah, how does it work? See, very simple mechanism. In one word, it is photo oxidation. We'll see. So first you take blue light of around 445 nanometer. You shine this on a stain, and when you shine this on a stain, what will happen? The molecules that stain has will get excited. Okay. Now those excited molecules will react with the oxygen in the atmosphere. So oxygen in the air will react with them, will turn into reactive oxygen, and that will attack the excited molecules. So this oxygen will react with the excited molecules, and the big colored molecules get cut into small colorless pieces. Now after those stains or excited molecules, excited by what? By the blue light. So these excited molecules, when they react with oxygen, they form some smaller fragmented colorless compounds. So they will form some smaller colorless pieces that wash away without any use of bleach or any UV technology. So now this stain will have some small particles like this that won't be attached that strongly to the cloth. Now this can be easily washed away like this, and you will get a clean cloth. Understood what is happening? Blue light it makes the particles in the stain excited, then the oxygen reacts with it, breaks it into small fragments and particles that are not that strongly attached to the cloth. Then if you wash it with water, it will wash away. Like the dirt, you do like this. Now earlier, if you have a stain, the stain is very strongly bound to the cloth, that will become very loosely bound and small. So that can be easily cleared by water and you'll get a clean cloth. Now this is not using any bleach or UV. These are the two other ways we use to clean clothes. One way is of course what you do at your home, that is fine, that is using soap and all. The industry, how does industry clean things? One is bleaching, you might have heard, correct? Bleaching clothes, dry cleaning and all that. Other is using the UV light. UV light has a lot of energy, correct? Very high energy. Sun is also emitting the UV rays. Now UV light is used as well as bleach is used. Now they both have some disadvantages, like bleaching and UV light, because they are so strong. Bleaching is using a chemical like fluorine and all, so it will oxidize the stain altogether. Now they cause color fading, correct? That is why if you send, let's say, a cloth for bleaching, when you get it back, the entire cloth is a bit dull. Okay, why? Because there will be some kind of color fading because of them. Also they have harmful effects, especially this. Bleaching has certain compounds, so those compounds, even after washing and all that, will, some microparticles of it will remain on the cloth, which is not good for you. So this are the issue with the traditional techniques. Now the blue light is not harmful to you, correct? UV light is harmful to you, that's why you wear those sunscreen every day you put. Why? Because you have to protect from UV lights, but you don't put any cream or anything for this light. This light has also component of blue light. Blue light is not affecting human body. Now once you get this, then now why can this be revolutionary? So this works on a variety of stains, food pigments, oils, sweat, etc., and different kinds of fabrics, cotton, silk, whatever. Then this is of course more gentle on the fabrics, correct? Just light you are putting on it. Anyway your cloth is experiencing light, okay? That is just some concentrated way mein light is being provided to it and it gets cleaned up, okay? So this is much more gentler, then less color loss, color fading is not there, then fewer microplastics because of less scrubbing. Understood? If you take a cloth, you scrub it like this, you may create microplastics or microfibers. You don't see them, but very small particles you can get out of it. Now because this does not need even any scrubbing, so what you need is, after this excited particles are there, they are not that strongly bound, just wash it away, it gets clean. So no scrubbing or very less scrubbing, then you have fewer microplastics, then uses less water and energy, correct? Then reduces yellowing and damage, so clothes can last longer, there won't be that much yellowing, clothes will last longer. Status. The status right now is, this is promising but not commercial yet. It is expected that within 5 years or by 2030 we'll start using this technology at for everyday usage. This is just an expectation. Okay. Okay. Yeah, these were the 5 topics. Now we come to do some MCQs. With these MCQs, we'll be done with your class. Do it. Do it, do it. Done. A, B, C, D, nothing, anything. C. Second one? Yes, so you got the answer. That's it. It distinguishes misfolded alpha synuclein from the normal form. This is correct. That is the main function. Then second is, it requires extra dye labels to generate a signals. No, does not require any extra dye. It is coming out of nanomaterial properties. Then it is designed for point of care use. Point of care means right then and there they are using the handheld gun or apparatus. So this is fine. Anyway, you cancel out 2, you cancel out 2, and 3 is also correct. So 1 and 3 becomes your answer. Then yeah, do this. Done. A, B, okay, C, D. Okay. What is given? Now, this is about eclipsed moon. Why does the eclipsed moon appear red? Now, during a total eclipse, the moon emits a red light and Earth's atmosphere filters out blue light, hence the moon looks red. It may seem correct to at first instant, but this is saying moon is emitting the red light, moon emits no light. This is actually just the this part is correct, that Earth's atmosphere filters out the blue light, hence the moon looks red. But here the moon is not emitting red light, moon is actually getting the red light, that is the reflection of the sun, and obstruction is being created by the Earth. So that is why first statement is wrong. The phenomena involves Earth's umbra and penumbra. Yes, we saw involves is fine. So 2 becomes answer. 10. Done. A, B, C, D. Okay. What is written? This is about semiconductors strategic context. Semiconductors will enable controlled flow of electricity in chips. This is correct. This is their main function. Then global chip supply is highly dispersed with no key hubs. Wrong. As we saw, there are some key hubs around Taiwan, US, Japan, all that. Now, chips are foundational to modern electronics and power electronics. Yes. So, answer becomes 1 and 3. Then, thank you. That's it for this class. Thank you.